hello hello good afternoon friends. Okay, today we will discuss some of the current affairs from the last week and this week also. Okay, let's start. Okay, sir, पीपीटी लोड ही नहीं. कौन करी सर? ओके 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 ठीक है ठीक. Okay. Uh, okay. We have the first question, that is, which of the following magnet is the strongest magnet in the world? Right? See, we have different types of magnets like diamagnet, paramagnet, ferromagnet. Okay, and there are various types of what rare earth magnets also, right, in this earth, right? But which of the following is the strongest ever, that we have the strongest magnet in this world? Okay, the first option is samarium cobalt, second option neodymium iron boron, alnico lodestone. Alnico means what? Aluminium, nickel and cobalt, right? Please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss it. Okay, the right answer is neodymium iron and boron. This is the most strongest magnet. This is a rare earth magnet, right? Strongest magnet as of now in this world or in earth. Okay, this is a rare earth magnet, by the way, right? Rare earth magnet. By the way, what is rare earth magnet? The magnet which is composed of rare earth elements in its alloy form, right? That is a rare earth magnet. Let's see the details. See, they look like this, right? This is the rare, this is a type of the strongest magnet. Okay, see. Okay, see, what are the details? Recently, a pilot plant for the manufacturing of neodymium iron boron, okay, rare earth permanent magnets. These are permanent magnets, right? Rare earth permanent magnets, right? Was established at the International Advanced Research Center for Power Meteorology and New Materials, that is Hyderabad. This is a PISM pointer. Okay, they can ask about the Advanced Research Center for Power Metallurgy and New Materials, that is ARCI in Hyderabad. Okay, by the way, what is the neodymium iron boron magnet? The neodymium iron boron magnet, the strongest permanent magnet in the world, right? As I told earlier, okay, strongest permanent magnet we have in this world. It is a tetragonal crystal formed of neodymium, iron and boron. Okay, it is made mainly from a combination of neodymium, iron, boron, cobalt and varying levels of dysprosium and praseodymium. Okay, dysprosium, okay, and praseodymium, right? What is this? Neodymium plus iron plus boron plus cobalt plus varying levels of dysprosium and praseodymium, right? That's why I call them you can call them alloy magnets, right? Because alloy means what? The mixture of materials. Okay, see, rare earth magnets. What are rare earth magnets, by the way? Okay, Rare earth magnet definition. Rare earth magnets are the strongest type of permanent magnets commercially available, known for high magnetic strength and resistance to demagnetization. What is demagnetization? If we this demagnetization is a process in which a magnet loses its magnetic property, right? That is demagnetization. Magnetization is opposite to demagnetization, in which process its material or anything gains magnetic property, right? Okay, by the way, what is composition? What is the composition? Made primarily from rare earth elements like neodymium, praseodymium and dysprosium, right? Often in alloys, as I said earlier, alloys such as neodymium, iron, boron, right? Application crucial in miniaturized and energy efficient devices where weight, space and thermal resistance are key. Used in electric motors, sensors, speakers and other high performance components. You also heard about MRI machines, okay? Magnetic resonance imaging, okay? They use this kind of magnet. You all must have watched the movie Final Destination. The recent part. In this movie, they show a MRI machine attracting very strong magnetic attraction showed by MRI machines, right? That is, the MRI machine uses this type of magnet, neodymium, iron, boron, right? See, their adoption is short over the past 6 to 8 years. Adoption is short over the past 6 to 8 years due to their compact size, high effectiveness and thermal resistance compared to traditional magnets, right? Okay, what is the global market? See this. China accounts for 70% of rare earth magnet metals mining and nearly 90% of rare earth magnet production. See the dominance of China in this sector. 90%. Can you imagine this? India's plan for self-reliance. India is facilitating short-term imports of rare earth magnets from non-China sources like Vietnam, Brazil and Russia, while aiming to build a full domestic production chain within 3 to 5 years, supported by incentives and public-private partnership, right? Incentives like what? PLI scheme, production linked incentive schemes, right? They are the incentive schemes which is linked to your production capacity, right? Production quality also, okay? Okay. Let's move to the next question. Okay. Chapchar Kut festival recently seen in news was celebrated primarily in which state of India, right? Option A Manipur, option B Meghalaya, option C Sikkim, option D Mizoram. Please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss the answer. Okay, okay. Anyone? The right answer is Mizoram, right? Mizoram. Okay. Let's move about the details. Let's see the details, right? See, this is Miss Chapchar Kut of 2026, right? This lady, Miss Chapchar Kut of 2026. There is always a what? Beauty festival in Chapchar Kut, okay? There will be Miss pageants given in this festival. Miss Chapchar Kut 2026, Miss Chapchar Kut 2025 and so on, right? She won the crown this year, right? By the way, this is their attire, Chapchar Kut festival attire, right? Okay. What is Chapchar Kut, right? It is a spring festival. Always remember, this is spring festival celebrated in the state of Mizoram. Okay, background. It is estimated to have started in 1450 to 700, 1700 AD in a village called Suaipui. Okay, it is celebrated during March after the completion of their most arduous task of zoom operation. Zoom means what? The podu cultivation, right? The local name of podu cultivation. That is jungle clearing. Okay, clearing of the remnants of burning, right? Zoom. Zoom is most present in the northeastern state of India, right? During this festival, both the men and women get dressed in their traditional attire. I show you already the attire, how they look like, with distinguished headgears and traditional jewelry, right? Okay. All the people gather for huge community fest to sing and dance the tune of flute, cymbals and drum and gongs. Okay, this is a community festival. Okay, greatest as a chapter code is the popular bamboo dance. Okay, called chera or chera. You can call as per your convenience bamboo dance. Okay, bamboo dance features men tapping the bamboo sticks according to the rhythm of the dance, and women adjust their dance moves with moving sticks. Various movements made by the chera dancers are inspired by nature, obviously, right? See the next question we have. Okay, where is the headquarters of National Productivity Council, that is NPC, located? Your options are Mumbai, Kolkata, New Delhi, Kochi. Please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds, right? Okay, let's answer the question. The right answer is the national capital of India, that is New Delhi, right? National Productivity Council. This council is meant to uh, introduce or meant for, or the objective of this council is that to how to increase the productivity of different ministries, different government agencies, or as a whole of government or governance, right? This is the duty, the sole task of this council, right? See the details. Okay. Recently, the National Productivity Council has signed an agreement with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change (MOPSI) to function as the Environmental Audit Designated Agency, right? This NPC will act as what? Environment Audit Designated Agency. About National Productivity Council, what it was established in 1958 as an autonomous organization. It works under the Department of DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? This is majorly to focus on the economics of the country, right? Economic governance of the country. It is a multi-partite non-profit organization with equal representation from employers and workers organization and the government, apart from technical and professional institutions and other interests, right? Headquarters is in New Delhi, as we discussed earlier, New Delhi. It is a constituent of the Tokyo-based Asian Productivity Organization, right? The inspiration is from Tokyo-based Asian Productivity Organization, an intergovernmental body which the government of India is a founding member, right? National Productivity Council has professionals from diverse fields to provide consultancy, capacity building and project monitoring unit (PMU) services to various organizations including central government, ministries and state governments, right? Okay, let's move to the next question, right? Recently, the Prime Minister of India greeted countrymen on the occasion of Nowruz. By the way, what is Nowruz? The question asked. There must be some gap in these lines, right? sorry for the inconvenience. The Parsi New Year, the Jain New Year, the Buddhist New Year, the Jewish New Year. Please attend this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss the question. Okay, the right answer is Parsi New Year, right? The Parsi New Year, Nowruz, right? See the details. Okay. Okay. Nowruz. Nowruz is an Iranian and Persian New Year. The word Nov means new, Roz means day. Then what is Nowruz? It resembles a new day. Okay, therefore the word translates to a new day, right? It marks the beginning of the spring season and is celebrated with great fervor and by members of the Parsi community across the globe, right? What are the historical underpinnings? Nowruz origins can be traced back to the ancient Persian Empire in the Zoroastrian calendar, where it marked one of the holiest days of the year. All right. The festival of Nowruz is named after the Persian king Jamshed, who is credited for creating the Persian or the Shahanshai calendar. Right. It is said that festival came to India courtesy of the 18th century wealthy tradesman from Surat, Nusarbiji Kohoyaji. Okay. This is a very long word, okay, who often traveled to Iran and began celebrating Nowruz in India, right? Nusar Banji Kohoyaji, right? It is listed in the list. This is an important factor, by the way, right? It is listed in the list of UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity of India, right? This is a very major fact. Other names like what? We have the Kumbh Mela, Chhath Puja, right? We have what? The Durga Puja, Dasara, of Kolkata, right? They all are listed in the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity, right? This is the important fact. Okay, let's move to the next question. Diego Garcia, a coral atoll, right, is located in Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean. This is relatively easier question, right? The last one and this one, they are relatively easier. Please attend this question. We will discuss it after 5 seconds. You only get 5 seconds for this. Okay, let's answer the question. Okay, the right answer is Indian Ocean, right? Bharat Mahasagar, right? Okay. By the way, Diego Garcia is what? UK's territory, right? UK's Indian Ocean Territory, IOT. It is often in news due to the UK and Mauritius. Mauritius and UK, right? This island in the news, right? See the location of Diego Garcia. Here is India, here is Chagos Island, here is Mauritius, Diego Garcia. Here, it's a part of Chagos Island, right? Okay. India and Iran recently fired 2 ballistic missiles towards the joint US-UK military base in Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. By the way, Diego Garcia is a military base, right? By jointly operated by US and UK. Okay, the location, it is a coral atoll located in the central Indian Ocean, right? It is the largest and southernmost member of the Chagos archipelago. Please remember this. It is the largest and southernmost member of the Chagos archipelago. It is a part of British Indian Ocean territory, BIOT, and accounts for more than half of the land area, right? It was discovered by the Portuguese in the early 16th century. It was most of its territory dependency of Mauritius. For most of its history, a dependency of Mauritius, right? That's why there is always a scuffle between UK and Mauritius with respect to this island, right? Okay. In 1965, it was separated from Mauritius as part of the newly created BIOT. In 1966, UK leased Diego Garcia in the US to create an air and naval base. As you said earlier, it is a military base, right? For constructing the defense installation, the inhabitants of the inland were forcibly removed. Diego Garcia is the US major geostrategic and logistic support base in the Indian Ocean. A non-binding 2019 UN General Assembly vote demanded that Britain end its colonial administration of the Chagos archipelago and that it will return to the Mauritius. This is a major rule by, or you can say, major vote or a referendum by UN, right? Okay, let's move to the next question. See. Hypercapnic hypoxia in mangrove soils occurs mainly due to high salinity of seawater, excess sunlight, accumulation of carbon dioxide and low oxygen in waterlogging soils, high nitrogen content. By the way, the answer lies in this, okay? So please attend this question. Okay, the right answer is accumulation of carbon dioxide and low oxygen in water or soil. What is hypoxia? The low oxygen condition. Okay, hypo means low, hyper means high. Hypocapnic, majority of carbon dioxide, right? Or high concentration of carbon dioxide, right? Indian mangroves are affected by this condition. Okay, due to the rise in global warming, the rise of greenhouse gases. Okay, carbon dioxide is a major greenhouse gas, right? That's why, right? See the details. See, a new study revealed that most mangrove sites are already experiencing mild or severe hypercapnic hypoxia, right? About hypercapnic hypoxia in mangroves, right? By the this is a disease also. Okay, such condition can be prevalent in human body also. Okay, hypercapnic hypoxia is high carbon dioxide and low oxygen state. It pushes estuaries into a stressful chemical state. Obviously, if there is less of oxygen and more of carbon dioxide, it will be stressful for mangroves, right? It mostly occurs during low tide at low salinity sites and in warm tropical regions, causes rising carbon dioxide level due to climate change and temperature increase. Okay, impact, okay, on biodiversity. It threatens the fish nursery. Obviously, fishes are threatened in mangroves ecosystem. It reduces biodiversity and habitat quality for fish. Okay, obviously the biodiversity zone of the fish and the habitat quality of the fish will be reduced if this condition will prevalent in these areas, right? See, what are the impacts on fisheries and livelihood? Obviously, it will, if it will impact the fishes, then the fisherman livelihood will be at stake, right? It shifts mangrove species composition away from the large reef associated species. By the way, what are mangroves, right? Mangroves are salt tolerant trees and shrubs that grow in coastal intertidal zones, right? Primarily in tropical and subtropical regions. Which is the largest mangrove of the world? Sundarban mangroves, right? Majority of Sundarban mangroves is in what? Where? Bangladesh. West Bengal holds a minor of this, right? These unique ecosystem thrive in saline or brackish waters. By the way, brackish water means more saline than the normal water and less saline than the free water, right? That is brackish water. Withstanding harsh environmental conditions such as tidal fluctuations, high salinity and low oxygen levels in the soil. Mangrove forests act as a crucial buffer between land and sea. They are buffer zones. It's relevant for the ecosystem to survive, right? Providing habitat for various marine and terrestrial species. The famous Royal Bengal tigers live in mangrove jungles, majority of them, right? Okay. Let's move to the next question. What is India's rank in the World Happiness Report? Okay. 2026. Don't forget the year, right? Okay. Option A 118th, option B 126th, option C 114th, option D 119th. Please attempt this question. Okay. ओके वर्षा किए जो अच्छा आप ऑनलाइन रे से भूल आंसर दे डी इज नॉट द राइट आंसर, राइट? ओके, बाय द वे मेघालय इज ऑल्सो नॉट द राइट आंसर इन दैट क्वेश्चन. ओके, बट यू आंसर करेक्टली ऑफ 2 क्वेश्चन, इंडियन ओशन एंड सी दैट इज द हाइपोक्सिया. ओके, okay, the right answer is 114th. Okay, 126th is the India's rank in 2024. In 2024 India improved to 118 in 2025. Okay, and this year India's rank is 114th out of 140 countries, right? Okay, let's move to the details, right? Okay, according to UN-backed World Happiness Report 2026, heavy social media use is harming young people's well-being in many countries. See, the social media once thought about the boon in society is becoming a ban for the whole humanity, right? Using harming. Okay, World Happiness Report. It is the world's foremost publication on global well-being and how to improve it. Published by, it is an annual report published by the University of Oxford's Wellbeing Research Center. This is an important point or question, right? Who publishes the World Happiness Index or report? University of Oxford Wellbeing Research Center in partnership with Gallup poll survey. This is a social poll survey, right? The UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, right? Okay, it asks people to rate their life on 0 to 10 scale, from the worst possible life 0 to the best possible life is 10. Okay, as per this report, Finland is the topmost country in it is 9th time in a row, right? From last 9 years Finland is topping in the list, right? Hope we will in future we should at least come near to Finland also. country rankings were based on answers given by the around 1 lakh people in 140 countries. See, this is a small sample size as compared to India. Okay, 1 lakh people is nothing as compared to India's population, which is 143 crore almost. Right? This is nothing. Okay, very small sample. And territories were asked and read their own lives. Factors for evaluation of happiness rankings. What are the factors? There are 5 factors, right? GDP per capita, life expectancy, social support, okay, freedom to make life choices, generosity, six parameters, perception of corruption. Okay, I think India lagged very much in perception of corruption, because there is corruption in India, right? Social support is very less in India. GDP per capita is also very less due to a huge population. Life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity. These are relatively better off as compared to other three, right, in India. Okay. Highlights of the World Happiness Report. Okay. Top 5 happiest countries: Finland, Iceland, Denmark, Costa Rica, and Sweden. Right? Unhappy countries: Afghanistan, Sierra Leone, Malawi, Zimbabwe. Okay. India improves its a rank from, as I told you earlier, from 118th in 2020, 18th in 2025 to 114 in 2026 and 126th in 2024. Right? We are in a upward trajectory. Right? Let's move to the next question. Okay. See the question. Irula tribe recently seen in news belongs to which geographical region of India? Options are Chota Nagpur Plateau, Siwaliks, Nilgiri Hills, Aravallis. Please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay. There is a short hint. You all know about the movie Joy Bhim, right? Okay. In this movie, there is a representation of Irula tribes. Okay. Please attempt this question. Okay, the right answer is, you all know about it, that is Western Ghats, that is Nilgiri Hills. By the way, sorry for a mistake that I have done previous. Okay, this must be not 114th. Okay, this is 116th. Okay, 116th is in 2026. Okay. We are 118th in 2025, okay, 126th in 2024, we are now 116th in 2026, not 114th. Sorry for the mistake. Okay. Okay, the right answer is Nilgiri Hills. Okay, let's move to the how they look, how the Irula tribes. They, by the way, they are professional rat and snake catchers. Okay, snake catchers. They're known for their extremely strong sense towards the habitats of snakes. They can know the venom of the degree of venom of snake by just smell of that snake, right? Okay. See, How they look. See, this is a typical photo of Iruda tribes, right? In Tamil Nadu, major in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Okay, see the area of the Iruda tribes. Just like we have this pen, or we have this what sword or anything, snake is just for them, right? Okay. Why Iruda tribe is age of now is in news? Masi Magan, an auspicious day in the Tamil calendar, holds significance for the Iruda community, which is deeply tied to their culture and collective identity, right? Okay, about Iruda tribe. They are a Dravidian ethnic group. They reside in the Nilgiri mountains of the Western Ghats, spread across Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Majorly or mainly in Tamil Nadu, right? They are one of the India's oldest indigenous communities. Oldest. They are the living civilizations of India, right? They are classified under PVTG. See their status as of now. They are vulnerable category in Tamil Nadu. That's why the Madras High Court, in the Madras High Court, they get the Joy Bhim is about a real life story, right? Here they showcase the atrocities faced by this community from the administration, right? They also call themselves Erular or Pusari, while their neighbors refer to them as Erarol, Irulas, Sikkari and Pujari. Okay? See, here is the details. Society of language, they speak Irula, which is related to Dravidian. As they live in south, the language is mainly from Dravidian, right? Tamil and Kannada. Religious beliefs. The Irula people do not have a definite god for them, right? They are pantheists, okay, who make provision for the presence of spirit in humans and objects, okay? Spirit worship, right? Like that. Their main deity is virgin goddesses called Kanyamma, okay, who is deeply associated with the cobra. Cobra, you all know about it. The revered snake god, right? Cobra. Settlements. Irula houses are built together in small settlements of villages called mottas. The mottas are usually situated on the edges of the steep hills and surrounded by few dry fields, gardens, forests and plantations. Okay. The next slide will blow your mind like that. See. The Irula community is a traditional associated with healing, traditional medicine and catching poisonous snakes. You all see the image, right? See. Okay, this is just a normal image. There are so many dangerous or horrific images of Irula tribes catching some dangerous, very large snakes in the internet. But I picked just a normal picture for you, right? Okay, economy, how they survive. Cattle production is another source of income. In the forest, they collect wild resources like honey, frankincense and firewood and the like. Okay, traditional knowledge. See this. Irula knowledge of snakes and snake venom is legendary. They can even locate snakes based on their tracks, smell and droppings. Can you imagine this? Right? In normal way, you can say Irulas are what? GPS of snakes, right? Right? Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay. Which sector is the largest contributor to anthropogenic methane emission? Right? Your options are industry, transport and logistics, energy and agriculture. Please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the answer. The right answer is, you all know, agriculture. Okay, agriculture industry in the world is the largest contributor of methane emission in this world, right? Agriculture, livestock regions. Okay, primary sector majorly. Okay, let's move to the details. Okay, see. Why is in news? Recent satellite data processed by Carbon Mapper shows that 15 of the world's top 25 methane emission sites in 2025 from the oil and gas sector were in Turkmenistan. This is a fact. Okay. Okay. What is methane? Methane is a potent greenhouse gas responsible for about 30% of the global temperature rise since the Industrial Revolution. See the culprit nature of the methane when it comes to global warming or global temperature rise. Okay, its atmospheric concentration is now 2.5 times higher than in the pre-industrial era and is rising faster than other greenhouse gases, obviously, because as we grow, our need for food is growing. That's why agriculture is growing, or as we move towards normal diet to protein based diet, then it will help to produce more of what? Methane. Okay, it is the primary component of natural gas and byproduct of what? Fossil fuel exploration. Okay, it is 86 times more efficient at trapping heat over a 20-year period than carbon dioxide. See there is an index called heat glycemic index. Okay, when it compares to carbon dioxide, the heat glycemic index of methane is very high, right? Major sources, the three major anthropogenic sources of what? Methane emission are agriculture, energy and waste sector, right? Although first is always energy, right? See, methane characteristics. It is a colorless, odorless and highly flammable gas, also known as Mars gas. This is the common name for methane. Popular name, Mars gas. Okay. Although it remains in the atmosphere for a shorter period, about 12 years, than carbon dioxide, right? It traps far more heat in the near term, making it a key driver of short-term climate change, contributing 28 times more to global warming than carbon dioxide for every ton. Despite being a short-lived gas, due to high heat glycemic index, this gas traps more heat as compared to carbon dioxide, right? That's why it's a very potent greenhouse gas. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next question. See, which country is the largest producer of coconut? Nariyal. Okay. Indonesia, India, Philippines, Thailand. Please attend this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay, Alok and Barsha, you are doing, both of you are doing great job. Okay, you are answering all your answers as of now correctly. Okay, please keep it up. Okay, okay, let's discuss the answer. That is B, India. Okay, see, Indonesia for the last almost 5 to 6 years, up to 2023, 2024, if you check the details, Indonesia is the world's largest producer of coconut. Philippines come in the second list and India comes to third. But as of now, India is the largest producer of coconut, almost accounting for 30% of coconut production in the world, right? It's for the Ministry of Agriculture data. Okay, let's see the details. Okay. Recently, the Minister of State of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare informed the Lok Sabha that India is the world's largest producer of coconuts, contributing 30.37% of the global coconut production, as I told you earlier. Okay. About coconut. Okay, coconut, the scientific name is what? Cocos nucifera, is a large palm of the family Araceae, right? It grows in the subtropical coastal regions of Asia, India, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Indonesia, and Oceania. That is Australia and New Zealand. Okay, Oceania region. It originated in the Southeast Asia and was transported throughout the Pacific either by migrating Indonesians and Polynesians, right? Distribution in India. It is majorly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Odisha, Goa, West Bengal. Okay. Kerala has a tagline, okay. Kerala, okay. Kerala has a tourist tagline in which they say the God's own country. Right? But in this Kerala, the L is just like a coconut tree, okay. The Kerala is very famous for producing coconut, okay. Kerala, Tamil Nadu. By the way, if you eat anything in Kerala, majority of the fried foods or majority of the oil uses in Kerala are of coconut origin, coconut oil, right? Okay, uses. What many more uses. Coconuts are the used whole fruit or conversely by their parts, majoca fibers, milk and corn. Okay. Okay. See the climatic requirements. Required climatic conditions for coconut. Rainfall 1000 to 3000 millimeter per year, right? Prefers evenly distributed rainfall, temperature optimum 27 degrees Celsius with a diurnal variation of 6 to 7 of cold. Okay, cold space are more limiting than high temperature. Light coconut palm requires maximum sunlight. That's why the coconut plants majorly in the coastal regions or the sea belts. Sea belts are almost, right? Altitude up to 600 meter above mean sea level. Okay, if temperature remains favorable, the palm grows well up to an altitude of 800 meter. Humidity needs warm and humid condition, obviously, right? Soils, it is particularly adapted to the coastal light sandy and sandy loamy type soil. Coconuts also thrive well in laterite soils, right? These are the all details about the coconut. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, see, which of the following state is not a part of 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution? Options are Mizoram, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya. Please attend this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay. The right answer is Manipur. Okay. Manipur is a state of inner line permit, but not of 6th schedule. Okay. See, 6th schedule states are Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. And what are inner line permit states? ILP. Remember them as AMTM, right? Inner line permit states are what? Mizoram is in both, okay? Mizoram, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, and what? Nagaland, okay? These are inner line permit states, these are 6th schedule states, right? See the details. Why in this state? Recently, the Meghalayan state government has extended the term of the Garo Hills. Garo Khasi Jayanti has, you all know about in Meghalaya, okay? Autonomous District Council, Ghadak, for a period of 6 months, right? Okay, 6 schedules have what? ADC, Autonomous District Council, in which they have the majority of autonomy to decide, okay, in majority of the subjects, right? About Autonomous District Council. The Autonomous District Council being autonomous bodies under the 6th schedule of the Constitution of India. The 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution provides a list of 10 tribal areas in Assam, 3 in Assam, 3 in Meghalaya, 1 in Tripura, and 3 in Mizoram. Okay, 10 what? Tribal areas. 3 in Meghalaya, Mizoram and Assam, 1 in Tripura. Remember this, right? See, each of these tribal areas constitutes an autonomous district. Okay, each autonomous district has an autonomous district council, ADC, membership of the ADC. Okay, they have up to 30 members with a term of 5 years, right? Up to 30 members, but their term is 5 years, tenure. Out of 30, 4 are nominated by the governor. The remaining 26 are elected on the basis of adult franchise, open election, right? Tenure of the autonomous district council 5 years from the date of their constitution. These facts you should remember, that is 5 years. How many of them are nominated by governor, okay? And how they are elected, right? Open election, that is adult franchise, right? Let's move to the next question. Okay. The next question is, who won the Stockholm Water Prize? By the way, Stockholm Water Prize often known as the Nobel Prize in Water. Nobel Prize of Water, right? Options are Taikanoki, Gunter Blokel, okay, Kaveh Madani, there must be some space, right? Sorry for the inconvenience. Andre Rinaldo, okay, please attend this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds, okay? Stockholm Water Prize in 2026. Okay, Varsha, you can remember them as ATMM or AMTM as per your convenience, right? AMTM, anything. The goal is to remember this, okay? See, the right answer is Kaveh Madani, okay? He won that prize in 2026. But they all three are belongs to 2023, 2024 and 2025. They three are also the awardees of Stockholm Water Prize in their respective years, right? But this year, Kaveh Madani. See the details. See, he is the personality, right? Kaveh Madani. He by the way, he belongs to Iran. Okay, Iran. Okay, Stockholm Water Prize laureate 2026. Kaveh Madani is awarded Stockholm Water Prize professor. Okay. See, recently Kaveh Madani has been named in the 2026 recipient of the Stockholm Water Prize, above Stockholm Water Prize. Okay, it is regarded as the world's most prestigious award for water related work. That's why the Nobel Prize in Water, right? It has been presented annually since 1991. These two facts you must remember, right? It is awarded by the Stockholm Water Foundation. This is also important fact. Who awards the Stockholm Water Prize? Stockholm Water Foundation in collaboration with Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. Okay, this what is the relevance of this academy? Nobel Prize, right? That's why we can call it the Nobel Prize in Water, right? Okay, what are the eligibility for this prize? Eligibility for Stockholm Water Prize. The prize is awarded to a person or organization, both, okay, who contributes to the conservation and protection of water resources and to the well-being of the planet and its inhabitants, right? It can be awarded to a person and can also be awarded to an organization, right? Everyone who has made extraordinary water related achievements is eligible, right? These are the details. Okay, let's move to the last question. You all know about it. Okay, Artemis 2 used which spacecraft to carry astronauts? Okay, options are Dragon, Orion, Soyuz, Gaganyaan. Okay, please attempt this question. We will discuss it after 10 seconds. Okay, the right answer is Orion. Okay, Orion spacecraft, right? By the way, Apollo and Artemis, they both are Greek gods, right? Right, we have 33 crores of Hindu god and goddesses, right? Okay, Apollo is a Greek god and Artemis is a Greek goddess. By the way, they both are twins, fraternal twins. Okay. This is a normal fact, right? NASA's Artemis 2 mission was launched on 1st April 2026 as a vital crew test flight to re-establish. Why re-establish? You all know Apollo 11, right? In the year 1969, the first person Neil Armstrong and what? Buzz Aldrin, both, right? We all always remember Neil Armstrong, but we should not forget about Buzz Aldrin also, okay? Re-establish human presence beyond the low Earth orbit for the first time in over 5 decades. Obviously, 50 years, 1969 is already 219 plus, right? Okay, what is Artemis 2 mission? Above, NASA's Artemis 2 mission is the first crewed mission of the Artemis program and the first time humans will travel to the vicinity of the moon since Apollo 17 mission 1972. This is the last mission of Apollo. Okay, this 10-day lunar flyby mission. This will not land on the moon surface. They will planning to land by Artemis 3 and Artemis 4. Okay, this is the only lunar flyby mission. Will carry 4 astronauts aboard the Orion spacecraft to validate deep space life support systems. Okay. Okay. Crew profile. You must remember this, right? The 4-person crew includes several parts of deep space exploration. Reed Wiseman, okay, commander, okay, a NASA veteran and former chief of the astronaut office, okay, Reed Wiseman, the commander of this mission. Victor Glover, pilot. First person of color, okay, black person, to travel beyond the low Earth orbit, okay, first person of color. Christina Koch, the first woman, okay, mission specialist, the first woman to travel to the moon's vicinity, okay. चांद के पास में जाने वाली पहली महिला, ओके, बनने वाली हैं, ओके, जेरेमी हांसन, he is also mission specialist, okay, a Canadian space agency astronaut. He will be the first non-American to leave Earth's orbit. See, he is the first person of color, she is the first woman, he is the first what? Non-American to leave the Earth's orbit. These 3 facts you must remember, and Reed Wiseman what is commander of this mission, okay. Hope you all enjoy the class. Hope the information given by me and will be useful for your exam and daily life. Okay. Thank you for attending my session. Have a good day. Thank you.